I thought what might be nice today, because what happened as I was speaking to you all individually, what was really interesting is that some people started to follow other people's desire lines, which was not, of course, was not my intention that other people would do that, but as the kind of stories related to where people have been in Nisros created sort of various desires. So, for example, Frederick's line was actually probably the most desired line, strangely in a way, but it was the first thing I noticed. I was like, so he talks about, well, where is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So he can talk about that in a minute, but also Agnieszka, but also Paolo also all followed a kind of similar path to where the pumice mine is. And then I think last night, Dora's kind of ritual practice of going to the beach on the other side, the Pebble Beach, we normally always go to the other beach. And she was always like saying, oh yeah, the sunset's amazing from there, but we never really made it. And then last night there was a group of us that kind of sat there and watched the sunset. Some of us actually got dragged into the sea repeatedly. And then I think the other thing that's been really nice is also just the connection, not necessarily with this place physically, but the journey either away from it or the journey to it. So that was the case for Greg, for you, and also actually for Agnieszka. But actually, I would wonder, would you be interested in sharing your stories, or?
I think we should.
Okay, you don't have to, but Agnieszka, I'm sorry, I'm starting with you.
Sorry?
I just wanted you, could you just talk a little bit about this, why I had to get silver thread?
So this is the silver is Agnieszka's.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it actually connects with what I did this morning with Quinn, which was a reading from this collection of Dionysiac writings, and there's an episode in it which has to do with Ariadne, and she's been a kind of recurrent figure for me. I've become quite obsessed with her over the years, but for no very good reason. I mean, I think everyone may have heard at school of the labyrinth and the thread, right? So Ariadne guides Theseus out of the labyrinth. Theseus is based, so the labyrinth is in Knossos on Crete, and there's this monster, the Minotaur, and whoever wanders into the labyrinth is usually meets his doom. So Ariadne guides Theseus out of the labyrinth with a silver thread. That's what most people know in the story, but there's a sequel to it which happens on Naxos, and where Theseus abandons Ariadne and as she's asleep, and Bacchus Dionysius rescues her and ends up betrothing her. So that's the story. And do I back it to?
I would, no, sorry, it's just, is that normal?
It's normal, yeah.
What do you want me to?
I just wanted you just to say a little bit about what created that desire line for you.
Okay, so
I like that connection with the.
Okay, so I met a woman in France whose name is Ariane, and I asked her whether she was named because of the mythological creature, and she said no, because of the rocket. So Ariadne was also a rocket that went to the moon, and there's a constellation dedicated to Ariadne, because all these gods and goddesses end up there in the stars somewhere if they've merited it or deserved it in one way or another. So I really wanted to stop off at Naxos en route for Nisros, but sadly it wasn't possible because I couldn't take the boat but flew directly, and that's more or less it.
Okay. Greg, do you want to talk about your journey to